Chinese skywalk looks like it's cracking when you walk on it. There's a lot of useless stuff in China. Here's one more. People with way too much time on their hands designed a glass skywalk on a mountain that pretends to crack while you're walking on it. Naturally, it scares the chicken chow mein out of the Chinese people that walk across. The skywalk hangs 1,180 meters up on the eastern face of the Taihang Mountain. It uses video screens and even adds sounds of breaking glass to make people think they're done for. Unfortunately, overreactors don't actually fall to their deaths. What a great idea, adding a cheap Chinese amusement park type thrill to a mountain hike. Next time you're in China, don't check this skywalk out. Go to an actual mountain without the lame gimmicks. Here's some more fun things out of China.
Cooking oil in China is recycled from the gutters. Chinese authorities have battled to get rid of gutter oil in the country's kitchens for years, cracking down on illegal oil production rings since 2011. But now it seems the black market oil in street-side stalls could be used to power up airplane engines. With Chinese cooking being so heavy on the oil, some enterprising people thought up a cheap way to produce it, by recycling garbage. First, they scoop up waste containing used oil or animal fat from sewers, gutters, or dumpsters and take it to processing plants. After the mixture is refined and processed, the oil is repackaged and sold to vendors and small restaurants at below market prices. As reprocessed sewage, gutter oil contains carcinogens, which may lead to cancer and other health problems. But with the disgusting oil served up in cheap street eats, unsuspecting foodies may be none the wiser. Other countries have long used recycled oil not for cooking, but for industrial purposes, something China only caught on to in recent years. In 2014, Boeing partnered with a Chinese aircraft company to turn gutter oil into sustainable biofuel. After a Hainan Airlines flight flew from Shanghai to Beijing last March on a 50-50 mix of gutter oil and jet fuel, China might very well turn gutter oil into gold.
The craziest air pollution protection masks people wear in China. Air quality and pollution levels have gotten so bad in Beijing that the government has issued a red alert for the first time, warning people to stay inside with their air purifiers or face one of the smoggiest polluted atmospheric conditions on Earth. Those that choose to brave the choking toxic smog should probably heed our list of the most fashion-forward and craziest air pollution masks. First up is the Airwaves mask created by Frog Shanghai. It connects to a smartphone app to measure pollution levels and keep wearers in the know about air quality in different neighborhoods. If you want other people to see your smile but still breathe cleaner air, there's also the nasal air purifier made by Mai Xingren. But only nose breathing is covered, and any mouth breaths are still going to be pretty polluted. Another nasal option is the InfaPure invisible air filtration mask. But if you don't like sticking stuff up your nose and you still want your face to be visible, there's the Sunny Smile transparent mask. This Toto Bobo mask is somewhere between the transparent masks and the full face coverage filters. If you like the vintage look, you can always go to the Army Surplus store and snag one of these retro World War II style masks. For a more modern style, there are all kinds of apocalypse chic choices, as showcased at the 2014 China Fashion Week by designer Yin Peng. Joggers and runners need to be especially careful when taking deep breaths of pollution while getting some exercise. Cyclists are also vulnerable to the air quality problems in China, so British artist Matt Hope designed this breathing bicycle that uses the power generated by pedaling to filter the air for the person riding it to breathe. Another innovation in air purification by artist Chu Chi uses a natural solution by attaching a breathing apparatus to a box with a plant inside that produces pure oxygen. These artist mock-ups show clothing that has the face mask built in. Are these the future of breathing? Imagine what these kids will be wearing on their faces by the time they're old enough to choose for themselves. These people certainly have some interesting taste, and it looks like there's a lot more where that came from.
China opens its first overseas military base. China has deployed troops and warships to Djibouti in the Horn of Africa to set up the country's first overseas military base. But the PRC claims it is not seeking military expansionism. On Tuesday, China deployed an amphibious transport dock and a semi-submersible cargo ship, which can accommodate a variety of helicopters and armored fighting vehicles, along with an undisclosed number of military personnel. The two warships departed from a military port in Zhanjiang and are sailing across the Indian Ocean to Djibouti. China will join the US, France, Italy, and Japan, which have already set up military bases in Djibouti. China has expanded its military presence in Africa in recent years, with more than 2,500 Chinese soldiers already deployed in South Sudan, Liberia, and Mali. The nation's navy has been conducting escorting missions in the Gulf of Aden off Somalia since 2008. China has also invested heavily in infrastructure projects in Africa in recent years. It's estimated that 1 million Chinese nationals currently reside in Africa. Chinese people are falling in love with a Microsoft chatbot. A text-based chatbot has already made more friends than you ever will, and many of them have told it, "I love you." Xiao Ice, which translates as little ice in Chinese, was developed by Microsoft's Xiao Ice artificial intelligence project. It's mainly targeted toward users on Chinese blogging site Weibo. Currently only available in China, Xiao Ice is not a mere Siri clone. It can also act as a friend whenever you feel lonely or just need someone to talk to. Like Joaquin Phoenix's character in the movie Her, some users have spent so much time with Xiao Ice, they've fallen in love with it. 89 million people have already told Xiao Ice that they love it. Xiao Ice can interact with users on a broad range of topics, from the simple chit-chat to flirting to dirty talk, though she will censor some content. For example, she won't discuss recent historical events such as the Tiananmen Square massacre of 1989.